First of all, I'm not making this video just to get people to feel sorry for me, because that's not what this is about. This is me trying to open up awareness to the people around me, to the situation that I'm in every day of my life. I've told so many people that this is how I live my day-to-day life, and it is really hard sometimes to be positive, and just some days I can't even get out of bed, and people are still saying, even though they know I'm sick, just get out of bed, just get out of bed, and do all these things, and work out, and I wish that I could. I really wish. I have so many dreams that I really wish that I could do. And that doesn't help me dreaming about things that I can't do. I have to accept the things that I can do and have to find new ways to accomplish the dreams that I have. But my priority right now is just to live, to breathe, and get some sense of self. 2 years ago, I was working at a hotel to help my sister-in-law, and they were horrible to me. They treated me like dirt. I've been treated really badly most times in my life, but this was just terror. Grown-ass people behaving like they're little kids. It's embarrassing. I have no idea what is wrong with these people, but that is not the point. But with psychic terror every day, my condition, trying to do all the things that I should while working, while commuting for 5 hours a day, it takes a lot out of you. I just worked 5 hours a day, and that was enough that I could do. I can't do much more than that. But the problem with the psychic terror on top of the heavy lifting, which I can't really do, and I got in so much trouble because I couldn't lift some stuff, and I would drop them because I was so weak. And then that's embarrassing. You always, for a person like me or anybody else, you just want to be your best and do the best job that you can do. So that at the end of my tempship, just before Christmas, I was on a bus from where I live directly to town on the freeway. The freeway was backed up, and I was running late. It wasn't the first time, it was not going to be the last time I was late. I was trying to make my commute shorter, but it didn't. So I was stuck on the freeway. I was so stressed out. The day before, I got told off and yelled at because they said that I had not done some stuff. I hadn't shut the lights off. I hadn't turned off the heat or stuff like that. And I have a pretty good memory, and I know that I did those things. And having that battle every day, people telling you that you didn't do this, you didn't do that, you should have done this, and when you know that you did the right thing and you did what you were supposed to, and it really gets to you. So I was running that conversation in my head whilst getting claustrophobic on that bus on the freeway. I managed to get a call to the reception and saying that I can't go to work. Not like this. I knew that this was my breaking point. I didn't know what was going to happen, but I knew that I had reached my breaking point. So I got off the bus when I finally got into town. I got on the subway. I think it's all really fuzzy. I had kind of memory lapses during this thing. And now I know that I had gone into a psychosis, that I had a nervous breakdown, that I had reached my mental limit of how much stress and anxiety my body could take. So I got on the subway, and I wasn't even thinking, I think. I just reacted. I needed to go someplace where I remembered I felt safe. So I ended up in the park next to the gymnasium I was in when I was in high school. And it was winter. It was really high snow and cold. And I started walking. Around the lake in Sollentuna, where I used to go to school. And I started walking. I don't even know what I was thinking. I had just blanked out. And I started walking. And 2 hours later, and 2 metric miles later, I was in this place called Kista. And halfway through this, I started texting to my sister. I hadn't eaten anything the morning. I hadn't even drunk anything. So with this exercise and everything, I was really out of it. I texted to my sister, so I remember I told her where I was, just to know that in case I fell down into the snow and something happened to me, that somebody knew what was going on. I remember I told her, I don't know what I'm doing. I really didn't know, and it was really scary. I managed to get into the shopping center and getting something to eat, and then I went home. And that's the last of what I remember of that day. I went back to work a few days after that, just to get my last leg in, and the day that I left, it was just before Christmas, I told them that I had put one of the keys to this place at the desk in the office. I went down and I told them, I'm going down to change my clothes, and I'm going to put this in the laundry, and I'm going to come up and I'm going to put the other key next to the key by the computer. A few seconds after I left the door, I was going down to change my clothes. This older man with whom I was working, he came in and he was yelling at me, full on screaming at me, where's the key? And I'm like, it's over there. That's the one of the keys. I'm going to go down and change my clothes, and I'm going to come back up, and I'm going to say, there's the key, bye. So I went down the stairs into the basement, and I changed my clothes, and then my boss comes down into the changing room, and she starts saying, oh, I'm so sorry that things went this way, and it was really patronizing. I think she realized that how they had been treating me was bad, and she felt bad, but I was not having it. Then she had the audacity to hug me, and she held on to me for a long time trying. I hate that feeling. I've had that a lot. When I'm really angry, I don't want anybody touching me. And people don't want to be somebody to be mad at them. So they try to placate you, to make you forgive them. And I was not having it. And I managed to shake her off, changed my clothes, and I went up again. I opened the door to the place where they were smoking, like they always were, all day, every day. And I said, bye. The keys on the desk, and I'm going. They didn't even say goodbye. And I'm like, I don't need these people. I really don't need these people. So I left. And that was that. The time after that, my illness was in full effect, and I was burnt out. I was burnt out, and I was depressed. I was thinking about killing myself. That's one of the things that went through my mind whilst I was in that psychosis state. And I didn't start to feel an inkling like myself until April. That is 4 months. I then tried going back to work. I worked for a full month, and then I got really bad. I took 1 month at home. All this time, I tried getting help from my doctors just to figure out what the hell is wrong with me and to get the help that I needed. I hadn't gotten my diagnosis yet, but what difference does that make? I have my diagnosis. It is not until a year later that I've got some help. And even now, I don't get the help that I need. So I got back to work, and I worked half-time until the period ended, and that was in October. And that was the last of the money I got from the agency, the government-funded agency that is supposed to help sick people. So I haven't had any money of my own, which I am entitled to since I am sick. And I am 27 years old, and I wish that I could work. I really wish that I could work and be healthy and do all the things that I want. But that's not the case. I am actually too sick. So I haven't got any money since November. It is almost May. Thank God I have such a loving and caring family. Else I wouldn't be alive today. And I know that is going to make some people feel really uncomfortable, me talking about this. A lot of people around me might think that this is really hard. But this is something that has to be out in the open. People with mental health issues or anything, depression or anything, anxiety. We need to start blaming people for having these feelings. And it has to stop being such a freaking taboo that everything has to be on the down low. And we have to keep all our feelings and everything bottled up because you don't talk about these things. You don't. You never really say how you're doing. Everybody asks you, like, how are you doing? Oh, sorry about the loud smacking sound. How are you doing? Everything is Facebook. Everything is so perfect. Everybody's got perfect hair, perfect makeup, doing all these perfect things. But behind the scenes, I think a lot of people are hurting. I'm one of those people. I am struggling, but I'm trying. I'm still here. I'm still alive. And sorry, I'm getting all emotional. But thank goodness, I'm still here. I haven't let things get the better of me. Even though they have sometimes, but I'm still here, I'm still alive, and I'm still fighting. Because I've got to remember that this is not what my life is going to be for the rest of my life, hopefully, that things are going to get better. That I have to stick with it and have faith. That is something that is really hard to have when you've got anxiety and worry and worry and worry. And you get sick because of all of the worry. Yeah, so I think this needs to get out there, and people have to be more supportive and more interested in what's going on around them. Because I think behind the perfect image that people project, that I'm fine, everything's good, how about you today ask one of your friends or anybody close to you, how are you really doing? Tell me straight up, how are you doing? I think people need to be a lot more compassionate about people around them. That they don't negate people's feelings. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm getting feverish. That's another thing with fibromyalgia. You get really strange, weird symptoms. But that's okay. Yeah. Don't belittle people, because people's feelings and how they perceive things are real. They are. At least they are to them. So never make anybody feel less than that they are. I've had so many people talk down to me, and they feel entitled to that. And that is wrong. So what I want you to take from this video is to try to pull people up and build them up and just be kind and compassionate. Because I try. And if I can try, despite all of these things, to put others in front of myself and to get out of my head and my own bubble and help other people, so can you. So I want you to have a wonderful day, whatever you are doing. Stay strong and know that I love you. I'll talk to you next time. Bye.